Hi, and welcome to Monday Minutes. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jessie, and this week we have a special guest with us. Hello, Lucas.
Hi, everyone.
We are here to kick off Kohavember. So, all November, we're going to talk about the Koha community on Monday Minutes. We're celebrating a very big 25 years this year with KohaCon kicking off on November 17th as we celebrate 25 years of Koha. So, we thought it would be great to do Kohavember where we focus on all things Koha. So, Lucas, you are the current release manager. Talk about what that means to you.
Well, what that means is I am sort of the last step in the Koha development process, where you go from submitting a patch, testing it, QAing it, then it ends up in a queue where I am the last step, and before it gets pushed to the Koha software.
Awesome. And you've held other roles in the community. What are some other roles that you've held before release manager?
I've done release maintenance, which is sort of like release managing, but for the different versions of Koha. So where the release manager deals with the main development version of Koha,
Mhm.
the release maintainers deal with the downstream versions, like currently 2505 or 2411, and so on.
And recently you just made a call for 2605 roles.
Roll. Yes, correct. Yes. So we as a community are now looking as the new cycle will begin at the end of November and into December. We will start a new cycle. We'll call that the 2605 cycle as the release will come in May of 2026. And yeah, there is a roles page now out there, so people can volunteer for all kinds of roles, from release maintainers to the QA team to bug wranglers. Um, so yeah, if anybody's interested, please go sign up. We need people.
Awesome. All right, so since we love to share information and show you how to do things, today we thought we would give a refresher on how to create a Bugzilla account and search in Bugzilla. So I'm going to share my screen, and Nick, tell us exactly what Bugzilla is and how users can find things in here that might be relevant to them.
Yeah. So Bugzilla is the main repository where development happens for Koha. It's a website that essentially lets us submit our patches, have conversations, and kind of search around to see what other developers are up to. Um, it's good to clarify that in Koha, we use Bugzilla. So we call everything a bug, whether it's a new feature, an enhancement to a feature, or an actual bug. We refer to everything as a bug, which can be a little confusing. But it's just the place that we go to work on Koha.
Awesome. So if you're coming here for the first time and you don't have an account, you'll see a little button up top where it will ask you to select that new account. You'll come here, enter in an email address, hit send, and you'll get an email to confirm that. Once it's confirmed, you can set up that account. Now, we'll talk a little bit about searching as well. Uh, if you're looking for something, if you find that you're trying to do something and it has too many steps, this is a good place to start. So, Nick or Lucas, is there something you worked on recently or something you can think of that we could show as an example?
So this morning I QA'd a bunch of bugs for Jobu relating to the preferred name feature, which
Oh,
is a new feature in Koha. And he extended it to allow you to optionally view the patron's first name as well as their preferred name if they differ. So if you search for preferred name, you should find it, or you can search for the bug number, which in this case is 40245. And this is handy whenever a developer gives you a bug number, because that's how we like to talk about our bugs. We remember the numbers, sometimes for forever. And if you type that in, it'll get you straight to the bug.
awesome. And some things to show here. I always go right to this field where it's the text that goes in the release notes. This gives you a quick snapshot of what this patch or enhancement actually does. So this is a just for me, this is a good way to kind of get a good overview of it. Um, Nick or Lucas, do you want to talk about some of the highlights of what signifies the status or where this bug is going? And
Sure. So as you see up there on the top is the status. which is now past QA. So that means it is sitting there waiting for me to push it. Other statuses may be new if somebody has just filed a bug and nothing has happened. Assigned if somebody has assigned themselves to the bug but hasn't yet worked on it. If a developer has worked on it and provided a patch, they're likely going to set that to needs sign off, which is an indication that it's ready to be tested by testers in the community.
Uh-huh.
And next would be signed off if they test that and find it all acceptable. And then once it's signed off, that's when the QA team can go look at it and get to the status we see now, which is past QA. So that's statuses. We see a lot of other fields there. Not all do we actually use in Bugzilla all that much. Component we do. That's just where we can. Which module of Koha does this bug belong to? Is it circulation? Is it patrons? Is it API? And then what version is it affected? You see there it's set to main.
Yeah.
And then what we see is a bunch of fields that we don't really use. Hardware, not an often used field. Importance is also not used much by the community. People do try to set it, but we don't really do anything with that. And then you just see some info about who the bug is, who the developer was that worked on this bug, and who the QA person is, Nick in this case.
Excellent. Now, down here, we'll see things like duplicates and depends on. So duplicates is just if somebody else might have filed a very similar bug, we can connect them. And then tell us what the depends on means when they see another bug number here.
This means that there is another bug that needs to go into the software first before this bug can advance. So something about, in this case, bug 40995 is important before we do this bug. And that may be that there's some pre-work done on this bug that is used in 40254, but essentially it means that that bug needs to move before the other one can.
Awesome. All right, well, this is just a quick introduction of how Bugzilla works. So if you want to create an account, get in there, do some searching. Next week for Monday Minutes, we'll talk about making comments and how you can actually use a sandbox and sign off on things. So Lucas, thanks for joining us this week. It was great to meet you to talk about the release process in Koha.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, have a good week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.